Lee Pritts, what's up?
How you doing, man?
I'm good. Great to see you. I saw you walking over here, so I'm going to stop that man.
Yeah, well, every time I love seeing you know that.
I appreciate it. Super 32, year number 20. It's insane as always.
Is this year 20?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I think I've missed one.
Really?
I started when it was in the high school gyms.
Really?
Yeah.
Wasn't Great Bridge one of the first teams to when they opened it up or something?
It might have been, yeah, because that might have been why I came when Steve Martin was coaching back then. But I remember it was right after my volunteer year, the next year when I was coaching, I was able to start going on the road.
Yeah.
I remember coming out something, so you have to go to the Super 32, and it was in a high school gym.
That's wild, and now look at it.
It's unbelievable.
Every ranked kid in the country here.
Oh yeah.
What any in particular you're interested in? What are you looking for when you come out here and there's so many good kids?
I don't even watch your wrestling. I already know, you do your homework before you come out. You watch your wrestling, but for the most part, you're coming out with your targets.
Yeah.
So, and I'd love to tell you who, but I'm not allowed to. Thank God the NCAA keeps me from talking too much.
Hey, well, one of my favorite guys, I got to talk to him a bit after he won a state title in California last year. Sonny Santiago just won Who's Number One. Really like that guy. He's heading over, right? He's committed.
He has verbal, and again, he hasn't signed, so I can't even talk about him yet.
Dang.
The rules, man.
What the heck are we going to talk about then?
You want me to interview you?
No, please. Yes, please. So, how's it looking? Season's getting ready to go. Competition's going to be here before we know it. How do you feel about the squad?
It's good, man. Everyone's training hard. They're working hard. It's really cool because we have that senior class. That was the number one recruiting class in the country. 4 years ago? It's now their fifth year. Mm-hmm. So that class is going out, and the number 2 recruiting class just came in.
Dang.
So to see the dynamics of the young crew and the old crew and kind of starting to mesh together, it's really wild.
Yeah.
It's wild, man.
Nice.
So it's cool.
Nice. You enjoying it?
Oh, I love every minute of it. You know that. The day I don't like it, or the day I don't love it, the day I go do something else.
Well, ever since I knew you, your attitude around wrestling was intense and passionate. What is it about the sport that keeps you there? I
don't even know if it's the sport as much as the people involved, maybe.
Gotcha.
It's just, it is the sport, because it continues to evolve and the evolution of the sport. But it's the people, everywhere you go, you see even the best guys in the world are trying to learn more, continue to learn.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's what's so unique and dynamic about this sport is, on Thursday I just did a clinic with at Predator with Strickland.
Nice.
And him and I've been together 26 years, and it's funny because we're still learning from each other, and it's so cool. It's like he'll say something, I'm like, God, that's so simple, and yet it's brilliant, and vice versa. And so, we'll come through, and it's just the evolution of the sport, and the evolution of the people, and I think that's why, I love it so much.
I was actually thinking about you and Strickland the other day. I saw some cool footage of Billy Martin that was floating around the internet. And I remember, it's actually where I met you and Strickland was out at Granby Camp.
Yeah.
And got to have some sessions with Billy Martin. Tell me about that guy.
Oh, he was so, I'll never forget this one. He was 80-some years old, and I walk into his house down on the farm in Knott's Island. Me and Steve Martin, actually, Steve and I. Uh-huh. And we walk in, and he's sitting there watching video, and he was real high-tech with the video before
I understand.
The high-tech was there. And I said, Coach, what are you doing? Just watching this video. And he was watching practices that he videotaped, and he was breaking down the practices, and I'm like, when are you going to hang up the boots? And he said, he stopped, he actually hit pause, he looked at me and goes, when I stop learning.
That's
and
awesome.
This guy's he was a genius.
Uh-huh.
And all of a sudden, so he's 80-some years old, and so when he stops learning, and I was young at the time, I was in college, and that resonated with me. I knew, like, holy cow, this is a guy that I thought knew everything, and he's going to hang it up when he stops learning.
Maybe it's cluing me into a little bit about your attitude here.
Yeah,
Lee.
I mean, it's people like that have influenced me, and I've been so fortunate to be around some of the best the sport's ever had.
Yeah. Well, this one memory I have of you, it was super early in Mizzou. We were in that shelf room. It was freezing cold because the garage was open. And everybody's sitting there putting their shoes on slow and kind of tired, hanging their head. And I just have this picture of you bouncing around, and you're trying to get in Matt Turner's head. You're like hand fighting with him. He's looking at you like, Pritts, you gotta stop, man.
I was probably just cold. If we're speaking the truth, I was probably just cold. It probably just came off a little different.
Yeah. All right, so last thing, I've been asking people just kind of about the topic of adversity. So you tell me your thoughts on adversity, why it's good or bad, or maybe a story of dealing with adversity.
Adversity.
Kind of general, so you can go any
no,
way.
and I know, and I was. This sport is built on adversity, right? And setbacks. Maybe you call it setbacks. That's adversity, right? All of a sudden, you're coming in and you got this plan. You've been training months for a certain way, and all of a sudden it doesn't go your way. You have to deal with it, Or you have a game plan going into a match, and all of a sudden the guy's reacting different than what you have been planning for. That's adversity, right? You got to deal with it. And so that's what I think this sport is so amazing too, is it teaches you how to deal with adversity. Life is, we were just talking about your son, right? And maybe it was a day late, but it's adversity and you had to deal with it. You don't get a second chance at dealing with it, right? So it's good that we are put in adverse situations so much in this sport that I think it prepares us for life.
Nice. Always good to see you, Lee. You got anything else for us?
No, man, it's always great to see you, and I love what you're doing.